We are now counting down less than a week to the U.S. presidential election, whose result will have implications that go beyond its borders to affect the future course of its partnership with allies, including South Korea. That being said, our political correspondent Lee Shi-hoo covers the potential scenario for South Korea, depending on the next U.S. leadership.
It's an exceptionally close race to the White House, with the latest polls showing Harris and Trump neck and neck in many states. But what now for South Korea, one of the U.S. key allies, working closely together in trade and diplomacy? Experts in trade and foreign policy suggest uncertainties under Trump and a continuation of Biden's policies under Harris.
In the case of Trump, regardless of whether it's isolationism or nationalism, it's a form of national priority that doesn't really consider the alliance. So Trump may impose high tariffs on all cars. South Korea and the other allies cooperate in the battery supply chain, and we can sell the US, for example, our positive electrode materials we produce, but Trump may not really keep in consideration this kind of alliance.
While Trump's policy is probably applicable regardless of sectors, Harris and the Democrats will likely focus on a few selected areas for cooperation.
Well, Harris and the Democrats value the alliance, and we are an ally of the US. Although the US emphasizes domestic production in certain sectors for national profit, the US does cooperate in other sectors when it's needed.
When it comes to the security alliance and defense costs, which Trump in his campaign has repeatedly called for South Korea's greater financial input, the Korea Institute for Industrial Economics and Trade predicts South Korea could expect not only an increase in defense costs, but also less cooperation in defense and weapons technologies. A policy expert, too, says there may be a big demand.
We will obviously expect a massive crisis in cost-sharing negotiations. President Trump has been very clear that he does not think the current arrangement is satisfactory. On the campaign trail, he's talked about $5 billion, even $10 billion in terms of special measures agreement renegotiations. So there's going to be a very big demand coming.
As for the foreign policies on the Korean peninsula,
so I think we're going to expect to see that further continue under a Harris administration. But I think they're really going to be working towards how to optimize the Rock-US alliance to deal with this unprecedented challenge by North Korea in Russia and their collaboration.
There may also be more multilateral partnerships with other U.S. allies, including Australia and Canada. Experts suggest that the key to making this coming change an opportunity for South Korea is to create areas where Korea is irreplaceable, for example, in technologies or products that South Korea leads globally. South Korea could use this kind of strength to make it hard for any administration to impose restrictions, but instead encourage investment in the country, further affecting diplomatic relations. Lee Shi-hoo, Arirang News.